Like many countries and territories, there are different classes of airspace in Canada. As a drone pilot, even if you don't need a license because you only fly micro drones, you still need to be able to identify the kind of airspace that you want to fly in, if you want to stay out of trouble. Hello Canadian drone pilots, and to everyone else watching right now. What is going on? If this is your first time here, my name is Roy and you are watching Creative Aerial Shots. Here in Canada, anyone who flies a drone is called a drone pilot, whether certified or not. No matter the size of drone you fly, you are a drone pilot. You bought your kid a Mini for his or her birthday, your kid flies it around your backyard, he or she is a drone pilot. And watch till the end of this video because there are important things that a drone pilot should know to stay out of trouble. While you can fly your drone in so many areas within Canada, there are airspace that require permission, and only drone pilots with advanced certification can apply for such a permit. Some airspace are designated as restricted to all aircraft, including drones of any size, regardless of the pilot's certification level. You can find detailed information for an airspace in the Designated Airspace Handbook, which is updated every 56 days, containing the changes and amendments authorized by Transport Canada. As a drone pilot, you also need to be able to identify if the area of your intended operation is close to an aerodrome. You are required to exercise higher level of caution when you are close to airstrips or heliports, even if you are in uncontrolled airspace. A directory of aerodromes in Canada can be found in the Canada Flight Supplement publication and is updated every 56 days. For water aerodromes, you can find them in the annual publication of the Canada Water Aerodrome Supplement. On top of these, there are government entities that prohibit drone use inside their area of jurisdiction to protect the best interest of the public and the organization itself. Parks Canada, for example, prohibit recreational drone use and require a permit if it is for commercial purposes. The reason for these is that drones can pose risks to park visitors. It can disturb wildlife and potentially lead to negative experiences for other park users. Drone use in national parks require both a commercial film permit and a restricted activity permit, and is subject to the discretion of the park superintendent. Permits may only be issued if the purpose of the operation is for public safety, law enforcement, resource management and protection, whether cultural or natural, and park or site management purposes directly related to administering the park itself. If you are new to this hobby, don't get intimidated. The government has provided free tools for us to use to identify the airspace and national park boundaries. We have the web-based drone site selection tool and the Nav Drone app for web and mobile. You just have to select the category of operation, whether basic or advanced, or if you are just flying a micro drone, and the colors will change accordingly. Look at this. The controlled airspace in Abbotsford, where I live, turned yellow. Microdrone operations are permitted within the zone indicated by the yellow field shape, but extra caution due to air traffic is required. And look, there's still a red area, or a no-fly zone. If you click on it, it will show you the details why this airspace is restricted. It shows here that it's an airspace over prison. Notice that the layers include national parks. If you click on that area, it should reveal the details. Microdrones require permission, same with basic and advanced operations, because this rule regarding national parks apply to all categories. When you are on your mobile phone, you can use the Nav Drone app. It is basically the same as its web version and also the web-based drone site selection tool. They only differ in the user interface. But there's still a problem with the Nav Drone app. It shows here that you can fly your micro drone in national parks, and this could get you into some serious trouble. I do hope Nav Canada will fix this soon. But what about provincial parks? With provincial parks, rules differ from province to province. In British Columbia, for example, BC parks prohibit drone use for the reasons that It can cause noise pollution, disturb wildlife, and potentially invade the privacy of other park users. It may also disrupt emergency activities, putting wildlife, park visitors, and BC Park staff themselves at significant additional risks. That's why operating drones without permission is strictly illegal in all BC parks. In Saskatchewan, provincial parks don't have their own drone regulations. And when I searched their website for drone use, all I could find is an article of a photo contest last year. It's the only thing that came up that matches the word drone. In Manitoba provincial parks, drones are allowed as long as you don't disturb wildlife and other park users. And because of all these differences in the rules, you should always do your research before you fly in a particular province. And also because rules may change over time. If allowed, always fly your drone responsibly. The drone site selection tool and nav drone can identify airspace, active NOTAMs, and national parks, but it doesn't have information on provincial parks. There is a third-party app for both iOS and Android that you can download for a fee. This is not a paid endorsement, but I personally use this app. It costs $60 to download, but if you have a team, you only need one subscription. It has built-in checklists and procedures that you can customize. You can use it to plan and log flights of each team member pilot. You can use it to store electronic documents like pilot licenses, aircraft registration, aircraft manuals, and other important documents for your operation. Now we come to the city or municipal level, but we don't have an app for these. Cities and municipalities each have their own specific bylaws regarding drone use. Oftentimes, it is the parks where they prohibit drone use without permission. But there are places where they don't allow drone use in basically all city property, including parks, facilities, roadways, and even sidewalks. Again, do your research before you fly in a specific location. Now, I've heard of drone pilots talking about the technicalities of the law. Yes, technically, park operators don't control the airspace. So technically, you can fly in a park airspace as long as you take off and land outside park boundaries. While it is true that Transport Canada is the only authority that governs Canadian airspace and NAV Canada delegated as operator and manager of the airways, some government authorities have created their own rules that place additional restrictions in order to protect their best interests. If someone sees your drone and reports to the park officers, it only means that they were bothered by your drone, which means that you were acting against one of the best interests of the park operators. You were disturbing other park users. I don't know if you have the time in the world to argue with park officers, especially in court, that they don't own the airspace above them. If the flight is really important, justify that your operation will benefit the park in some ways and go and apply for a permit. But for fun and enjoyable flights, keep it simple and avoid situations that may cause drama. If you find this content useful, come on, give it a like. Thumbs up, please. You can share it with your friends. They might be able to use this information as well. Help this channel grow. Subscribe and click that notification bell so you won't miss it when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.